Everybody, this is Brendan from 12 Gigs in 12 Months, and this is a very special episode because it's not about a gig, but it's about a very important discovery. I was walking down the street the other day to one of my favourite cafes to talk to the proprietor, who is a fellow Carlton supporter like I am, and unfortunately the cafe was closed, and so what I decided to do was to walk home, and I was passing an op shop, and for some reason, I just felt compelled to go in. And I walked in there, and what was in my mind was that I was going to find an LP for myself and buy it and go home and play it. So it was a little bit of a Forrest Gump moment when he used to talk about a box of chocolates and you never know what you're going to get. And I thought it'll probably be a Glen Campbell album or James Last or Tijuana Brass or something like that. But no, I went in and the album that I ended up buying was on display, sitting there facing me, and I knew, well, that's the one for me. I didn't even look at any other one. And it was this brilliant album here. If you don't know what this is Midnight Oil's Place Without a Postcard. And I owned this on cassette back in the old days, but it was great to get the album. And it's got great artwork on it. And when you look inside the sleeve, because I checked it to see if there was any scratches on it, it's got a little bit of wear and tear, but a little bit like its new owner. And I looked in here and first of all checked that there's no scratches on there from any little hazards on the LP player. And what came back to me was this: a lyrics sheet on the back of the album. And these days, one must put the glasses on to read the lyrics. But I can remember as a kid when I'd get albums and you would go through and try and learn all the lyrics to the songs, especially Midnight Oil albums and songs, because I was still am a huge fan of the Oils. I first discovered Midnight Oil, I believe, in 1984. That's when I started high school. Back then, high school was when you were in year 8. And I remember going to a school disco, and a few songs came on that sort of changed my life. The first one was, they used to play Rock Lobster, which I just remember hearing in the cowbell and everything like that and thinking that was an amazing song about fish and everything like that. Another one was they always played Nutbush by Tina Turner. And another one they always played was, they played The Time Warp. That was okay. It wasn't sort of my thing. But every now and then they would put on a Midnight Oil song. So this is pre-Diesel and Dust. So we're talking definitely the Power and the Passion era. So that came after this album. No drum machines as far as I know on that. But When the Generals Talk and all those sorts of songs. And all of these guys, from the high school guys, teenagers, would get up on the dance floor and go crazy dancing like Peter Garrett, which I thought was kind of crazy, but also attractive in another way, as in, wow, this looks pretty cool. And sort of gyrating and however you can describe his dancing around on stage. Anyway, back in those days, for people, younger people, we didn't have streaming or YouTube or anything like that. You had to watch Rage or something like that and wait for a Midnight Oil special to come on. And two particular Midnight Oil concerts that had a big impact on me. One was 1982 at the Capitol Theatre in Sydney. If you Google that, you can, if you go onto YouTube, you can see that performance, and that's where you see Midnight Oil, like classic Midnight Oil, rocking out on stage. Peter Garrett's amazing dancing and just very unique vocals. And Rob Hirst sits up really high at the back of the stage on the kit, and he is amazing. I just remember seeing just a person who not only knows how to play, but able to perform, and you could just watch him on the drums in that era, and it was amazing. And then the other concert that, again, I don't know, you'd have it on a VHS, or you just waited till it came on TV, or maybe you went and bought it somewhere, was their Goat Island concert that they did, which was after Red Sails in the Sunset came out. So if you are into the Oils or you haven't seen those go and check them out. They're awesome. This one here, this has got some really good songs on it, because in this era, we've got some classic hits on there. Don't Want to Be the One was one of the singles, and that's a pretty cool song. Then you've got another famous song on there, was another release, was Armistice Day, and also I've got friends who really love the song Burnie. But there's a real Australiana feel to this, and it's getting more political in terms of their observations about Australia and about history and those types of things. And this led into 1982's release of Power and the Passion. So I'm going to play this on my LP player. I didn't tell you this, but up here it was $15. And as far as I'm concerned, that's $15 well spent. So if you don't own an LP player, that's cool. I find, like, I'm an iTunes guy, I find that to be extremely convenient for myself. But as I get older and more refined in my tastes, I'm going to be indulging in spoiling myself with the occasional record. Op shops are a great place to go and hunt them out. And I'm going to really enjoy going back to some classic oils with Place Without a Postcard.